Hi there. Today, Spirit wanted to come through with some inspiring messages with words of encouragement to help you along your journey. So here on YouTube, I go by Faye Willow. I don't often introduce myself, but that's how I, identify this channel. It's Faye Willow. I think of it as a space more so than just me as like a figure, a tarot reader. I do collective readings, so I kind of think of this as the Faye Willow collective that I'm hopefully attracting here. And so yeah, we'll see what messages Spirit comes through with today. And I like to start off with a prayer / a moment for you to meditate if you meditate, or just anything that you do to kind of silently ground and center your energy before we hop into the reading. All right, I'm going to pray silently and you do what you need to do. So I personally am going through a time of like some transitions, major changes, and so I don't know if you're going through the same, but even if you're not, we could always use some encouragement along our path. Yeah, the Fool card, fresh start, taking leaps of faith. Spirit wants to say that you're very much supported at this time and that the future is bright. Whatever you're endeavoring toward at this time is going to be so much lighter and brighter and more prosperous, auspicious than anything you've done in the past. And because it feels bigger, brighter, unfamiliar, of course that's going to come with a lot of fear. And Spirit is saying it's okay to be feeling fear, that you are going to be blessed with courage as a result of your faith in the divine and the faith in yourself that you've been building up. And you just had a desire to do something completely different, and you took the time to rest and reflect on everything that you did in the past to figure out, what do I need to do differently? You had a reset recently where you were in hermit mode and you just kind of like shut out the world to be able to figure out how to listen to your inner voice, to learn what your inner voice actually sounds like, to clear out the mental chatter. This sword's energy is mental energy. You worked really hard to clear away any mental chatter so that you could know what your next move should be. You were learning a lot spiritually, and Spirit is just commending your journey because a lot of people don't choose that path of slowing down and pausing and really going deep within to figure out what their purpose, their life path should be on a more meaningful level. A lot of people are after money, after monetary gain, possibly fame, just anything that will help them look good. But you recognize that there's more to life, there's more to your life. You have a higher purpose, and you have a lot of humility around this, where you're like, I want to do good in this world, and so how can I best do that? How can I best build community with like-minded souls and do more work in a collaborative way? Like, you're not a competitive soul, you're a nurturing soul. You're someone who wants to build abundance, not just for yourself. You want to be able to be generous. And Spirit is encouraging that and saying that that will be rewarded, because you were fearing like there were people around you. You felt like the people around you before didn't share in those same values. Their goals were not aligned with your goals, but you still had a desire to work with other people. You didn't want to stay in isolation and hermit mode. You wanted to re-enter the world and be able to collaborate and find your soul family. And Spirit is saying that is in the cards for you. And that'll be part of what inspires you to continue on your journey, is having those people around you who align with what is meaningful and important to you. And it takes so much strength to come back from dealing with people who were trying to tear you down. You built yourself back up. You were the phoenix rising from the ashes. You can take inspiration from yourself and from your own journey, is what Spirit is saying. Look in the mirror and recognize your own light. And you don't need to dim your light to be safe anymore. You don't even need safety anymore. That's that Fool card energy combined with this Strength energy. Like, the Fool does not have a safety net. The Fool does not have a backup plan. And it takes strength to step out like that with no safety net, with no backup plan, to trust wholeheartedly in your vision for your life and for your career. That takes strength. That takes courage. We have the Page of, the Strength card is coming out again. Yeah. Okay. Page of Pentacles in reverse, 9 of Swords in reverse. Spirit wants to tell you that you've done a beautiful job releasing the illusion of scarcity and the illusion of competition. And Spirit wants to inspire you to continue learning. Okay, so you've grown up a lot through this process. You've grown, you're very wise, you're spiritually evolved older now, but there is an essence of youth that Spirit wants you to hold on to, in the sense of being a lifelong learner, staying curious, remembering that part of the purpose and the beauty of life is continual growth, continual, I'm hearing revision, like your life plan, your life path. There's always room for revision. There's always room for changing things up based on new information, new people coming in, certain people leaving. All of that requires a level of flexibility, which is, I'm just getting like a tree losing its leaves, and then, the new buds in the spring. It's like, no matter how old a tree may be, it still goes through that process of death and rebirth through the fall and the winter. And so no matter how old you get, remain open to the process of change. And there's like a word that I'm not getting, but like Spirit's not giving me the word, but just this feeling of like regeneration. Thank you. Oh my gosh, it was like so on the edge of my tongue. Yes, regeneration. That's what Spirit wanted to encourage you to not be afraid of regeneration, and that's not a sign of like you not being ready. If you feel like there's still more to learn and still room to grow, that doesn't mean that you're too naive or that you're not ready to lead or be an example. You're an example as you continue to learn and grow. And the 6 of Swords energy is regeneration as well. This is all about healing and moving on and making progress. And Spirit wants you to inspire you to make the external changes that you've been hesitating on. You were not afraid of the internal work. You did all that. You were the phoenix. You healed. You went through all of those, the dark night of the soul, the death of the ego, the rebirth of a new ego. And now it's time to make those physical changes. Maybe there's a chunk of change that you don't want to spend. It's time to invest in yourself. It's time to change your environment if that's what you need in order to more suitably support your goals and your endeavors. And, you know, make new friends if you feel like you're ready for more socializing. That can help support whatever you do as well, when you feel like there's the energy of others around you who are pursuing similar things, who are similarly ambitious. Having those people around you can bolster your inspiration and your energy. And just be mindful of the energies around you. So maybe you are already social, but you don't feel like it's adding to your life. I'm hearing like empty calories, like there's like empty social calories. Not to speak of like your relationships in a like consumer kind of like monetary exchange kind of way. It's not like currency. Like, I don't want to speak of it in those terms, but more like everything that we do, every experience we have, every aspect of our life is an opportunity to either nourish your soul or drain your soul of resources. And a little bit of drainage is okay as long as you're pouring into it in other ways so as to refill. But if you're just draining your energy and scattering your energy, and if part of that drainage and scattering is your social life, Spirit just wants you to like take stock and recognize where that's happening, and where you have opportunities to actually refill and add to your life. And one of those opportunities is your friendships and your collaborations. Okay, let's see if Spirit wants to talk about a specific blessing, anything that's coming in particular as a result of your efforts. Yeah, I just keep hearing creative. You're so creative in these unconventional ways of like, you don't identify as an artist, but you're someone who, your energy is creative such that people, when they're around you, they feel richer, they feel more abundant just being around you. You light up people's world, and that's a currency in itself. Yeah, so your blessing that's coming in is progress. Steady progress that feels well paced, because I'm hearing that you asked for it to feel manageable for you, because you've been through a lot of overwhelm. You've been through a lot of overwhelming circumstances. And so I'm hearing that you asked for change that felt manageable. That's why I keep hearing manageable. And Spirit still wants to stretch you a little bit, but that ask is being answered and granted. So you're going to feel like things are trickling in a way that, yeah, feels manageable for you. We have the Hermit mode here. You're going to have the freedom and space to take whatever time you need to recharge. Your new social life is not going to be overwhelming, and your intuition is going to help you know exactly what choices to make, exactly what moves to make, and you're not going to be wishing anymore. This is the Nine of Cups in reverse. It's not going to be wishes, it's going to be tangible results. It's going to be what you put in coming out tenfold, and like not so many shocking surprises coming into your life anymore. Things are going to be feeling expected. I'm getting that with this Knight of Pentacles energy too, where it's like the Knight of Pentacles is methodical and following a plan, and your blessing is going to be, you know, like maybe a little bit of pleasant surprise in terms of, oh, this is like maybe more than I expected, but it's the expected result. It's no more of like, oh, I did all this work and then I had a tower moment where it all went to shit. Like, it's no more of that. It's going to be, I put in the work, I listened to my intuitive downloads. You were very much in your High Priestess energy, listening to your spirit guides. Yeah, all of your intuitive downloads, everything that God and the universe was telling you was meant for your life, you started acting on that, and you're going to be seeing the expected results, the money, the doors opening, the business taking off, justice, what is owed to you coming through. Like, no more shady dealings going on around you, no more people tearing you down, no more I've done everything right and yet here we are like with somebody like, you know, tearing me back down, or, you know, stuff, the rug getting ripped out from under you. No more of that. Like, you're finally, like, you've racked up so many credits with the universe. Like, you're not in debt, you're not in karmic debt, you are owed almost. It's like when the government like owes you a tax return or something. Like, that's what the energy I'm getting. And we have the Lovers in reverse and the Tower, and Spirit is just saying, just be prepared for a lot of like moving parts around you. I'm seeing you very stable, you very much Knight of Pentacles and High Priestess, seeing the bigger picture intuitively, but there will be, like I said, those external changes going on around you. Don't be afraid of those. Don't be afraid of a little bit of instability, because in the long term it's going to result in stability, in more stability. But it's like we gotta like rebuild the foundation. Essentially, we have to, just like in the same way that your ego completely died and you're like essentially a new person since your spiritual awakening, that's going to happen with the people around you coming and going. That's going to happen with moves you're making, career changes, all of that. I'm just like getting like winds moving around, and I'm just seeing you standing strong like a tree. Yeah, you're very much a tree. Very stable, very regenerative, full of life force energy that also pours into those around you. Like, I'm getting how like trees provide us with oxygen. You're like oxygen for loved ones. Okay, this is the Four of Swords again. This purple color, purple is a color that's been really coming up for me a lot intuitively this week, and I'm just getting collective energies of like very high spiritual vibes, very evolved. Like, we've come such a long way on our spiritual journey, so there's that energy, and Spirit is encouraging you to continue meditating, to continue spending time in deep communion. I'm hearing with your spiritual team. Commune with your spiritual team. Spend quality time with your spiritual team. Quality, quiet time in terms, step away if you need to. Like, I'm getting like a house going through a lot of renovations, getting gutted. Like, your house is going through all of that. Like, if you need to spend a day and a night in a hotel or an Airbnb to get away from that, like, even when the work isn't going on, just this having that environment of like not like unfinishedness, like if you need to step away from that, like retreat to get some more quality rest and to be able to commune in quiet with your spiritual team, do that. And don't be afraid to spend the money on that, like taking a retreat for yourself. That's some advice that I'm getting. Even if it's just like a day spent out in nature on a hike. Yeah, Four of Wands, stability is very much coming. Celebration, yeah, Spirit talking to you with the Hierophant. So make sure you can hear. But you've done such a beautiful job thus far, and like Spirit's like keep going in terms of that spiritual evolution, because that's lifelong, but it's also like very rewarding, and it's going to provide you with inspiration. Like the idea of the muse, I think of creation, and there are other people who think of it this way too, of like, okay, so Spirit's saying, go ahead and talk about this. So I'm a writer, and I read this craft book called Craft in the Real World, and it kind of talks about alternatives to the Western style of storytelling. So like a lot of us know about the hero's journey, but there's other frameworks from other cultures around how storytelling works. And so in East Asian storytelling traditions in particular, a lot of them think of writing as transmission. It's not just someone using just their mental energy to sit down and write a story. That story is coming from ancient wisdom from our ancestors. We are channeling Spirit, God. We're channeling several spirits, possibly like of ancestors, spirit guides, that sort of thing. And so in order to make this the best work possible, the best creations possible, if you're someone who serves, if you're a healer, in order to do your job well, you have to be tapped in and be a clear channel for divine energy, for divine messages to come in from other realms. And so to be able to be tapped in like that, you have to know how to get yourself into that space, that meditative space, that just clarity, no clutter from the outside world. Seven of Wands in reverse, yeah, unobstructed channeling of divine energy. Like with this card, I'm getting layers, because Wands is very much spiritual energy and like that inner fire and life force energy. So I'm getting that energy, but the Seven of Wands is all about like conflict, having to defend oneself, having one's guard up. And Spirit is saying there's a level of vulnerability that has to happen in order for you to be the best creator that you can be. You have to let down those guards. You have to clear the obstructions to your ability to channel. Judgment in reverse. Okay, let's get a clarifier, because I'm kind of getting that card more upright, but I feel like it came out of in reverse for a reason. Like, because that's very much awakening energy and like angelic energy, spiritual energy. Queen of Pentacles. Okay, it's time to ground things back into reality. So you've spent a lot of time on your spiritual awakening, and you've spent a lot of time like in the higher realms kind of, and like you've received all these downloads, and perhaps you're like confused about how to implement these in a practical way, in an earthbound way. Also, the Queen of Pentacles had come out before, if you recall, so that's double confirmation of like that's the energy that you're in, this feminine leadership energy. And Spirit is saying yeah, meditation is important, but yeah, the advice here is the spending time in nature. If it's cold, bundle up and go for a walk. That's what I heard. But like even just staring out the window, or spending time with a pet, or having your plants around your house, communing by those, anything that will help you ground. We have this Six of Swords energy because Spirit wants you to be grounded within yourself as these moves are happening. Once again, with that Swords energy, that's why I'm getting like wind the winds of change blowing. Okay, I wanted to do this reading kind of stripped back. I didn't know how much time I would have. So I just wanted to use these two decks, but I'm going to get like a final one or two cards. But basically, you've got a lot of abundance coming in, and Spirit just really wants to help you release that last little bit of fear and doubt, and just know, like, yes, you are correct. You've been feeling into the energies correctly. You know what's what. You are at the point on your spiritual journey where you know the difference between your intuition and your anxiety. And so you know all good things are coming. Like Two of Cups upright, Five of Pentacles in reverse. Beautiful love and partnerships, abundant partnerships. Okay, so King of Wands in reverse. This King of Wands card has come out in so many of my YouTube readings so far. With the reversed energy, it's very much now we're moving into the next phase where we're leaning into that feminine essence. The number 2 is feminine energy, and returning to that, and also returning to more earthy rather than fiery energy. And I know this is coming out a little more abstract, not so practical, so just kind of take this in, and you're gonna have moments, you know, in the coming weeks where it's gonna click for you in unexpected ways. That's what I'm getting, where if it doesn't make sense to you right now, it will. And if it still doesn't make sense, just allow the energies to flow through you. Just follow your whims. Just keep creating, and don't worry about what the messages actually mean or whatever. Like that's what Spirit's telling me. But yeah, Spirit wants us to focus on water and earth energies, grounded, creative, in the sense of being in touch with our emotions, and not rushing the actions that we take, like allowing the creative process to take the time that it takes, and allowing our light to shine, our inner beauty to shine, and attract those who resonate with us rather than running on fear. Yeah, the Queen of Pentacles came out again. And the Three of Swords in reverse, and we have the Eight of Wands. So yeah, things are going to be happening for you quickly, but Spirit wants you to take your time and just receive. Yeah, more feminine energy, receptive mode. You've got blessings coming in. And whenever I get that message, I'm always like, do you want to tell them specifics? And Spirit's like, everybody has their own specific prayers that are like private to them, that they've been asking for. And Spirit just wants to like bolster that faith and let you know that like it's for real. It's happening for you. You've done such a good job holding on to the faith through this long process of spiritual awakening, of tower moments, of lost, broken relationships, of not knowing, like, am I gonna be alone in the physical forever? Like, you've gotten through all of that, and you've done an amazing job. And whatever you do to get inspired, if I'm hearing, go to museums, go to the botanical gardens if you're somewhere where that's open, and spend time with nature, spend time with art, go to the movies, anything that reminds you that you're part of, like, humanity is full of ingenuity and innovation. Like, it's anything that reminds you of the positive side of humanity. Like, the best thing that we do is create, and that's what brings us closest to God. And so anything you can do that reminds you of that will help keep you inspired. But you're doing an amazing job. God bless you. I'm sending you so much love.